All right, welcome everyone. We are now back to the High School NIL Business Coach University daily training. Now for this next step, what we want to do is take a deep dive into the anatomy of a high school NIL partnership. So let's go and get started with this quick training. The first focus point is going to be on the athlete. As you can see, Sonora High School junior distance runner Broen Holman is who we're focused on right now. He happens to be one of the top recruited runners in the entire state of California. Now, he officially has signed a NIL endorsement partnership deal with the GPS running watch brand by the name of Coros Wearables. So congratulations to him and his team. Now, what we want to do now is take a step into the deal itself to see what we can each take away from it to obviously improve the success outcomes for our high school athletes and the businesses that we partner with. So without further ado, let's go and get started with step number 1. Now, as you can see, when you take a look at the NIL breakdown, you want to start with the anatomy of the high school NIL endorsement partnership. And we've simplified it for you. So you start off with the athlete name, which is in this case, Broen Holman, and their class, which in this case, he's class of 2026, and he's a junior, and he goes to Sonora High School. Then the next column is going to be the NIL partner. This is very interesting because you are no longer just dealing with the for-profit businesses in this space. You're actually able to work with independent entrepreneurs, obviously high-level executives from corporations, charities, nonprofits, and organizations. Everybody is at play when it comes to a product or service that can be partnered with an athlete. And then I move down to the next column, which is going to be the length of the 1099 contract. And then when you're done with that, you'll move down to the deal deliverables. Now, just to simplify this, it's basically what the athlete needs to complete in order to receive compensation. So Holman is actually going to be receiving, deliverables will be providing him with GPS watches, as well as a heart rate monitor and a shoe pod as a part of the sponsorship deal. And this actually totals to the amount of $500 in product value. Now, your athlete may have a larger deal or a smaller deal that may not incorporate any product, but may incorporate compensation. So it's important that you list the deliverables in this section to itemize what the athlete will need to do to receive that compensation. Then we move on to the fun part, the compensation, the money, right? So in this case, we've listed it at $500 for Holman. And then the last portion of the anatomy of a high school NIL endorsement partnership is going to be the ways that the athlete will be profiting. So from some of you that are obviously attending our training from different parts of the country, you might not be aligned with what the state of California is aligned with when it comes to the NIL bylaws. So it's important that you reach out to your coach to know exactly what the bylaws are for your state. And for the state of California, as you can see here, there are 5 ways that are listed for the athletes to be able to profit off of their NIL. So the first way is obviously commercial endorsements. 2 is promotional activities. 3 is social media presence. 4 is product or service ads. And last is NFTs, which is known as non-fungible tokens. In regards to the 5 ways, Holman is actually profiting off of the first 3. It is commercial endorsements, promotional activities, and social media presence. So for your athlete, you're going to want to make sure that you indicate the ways that they plan to profit off of their NIL. All right. So that's going to wrap up the anatomy of a high school NIL endorsement partnership. Obviously, there will be more ways that you can break down the deal, but this is just to get you started and then obviously build momentum to find out what works for you and your workflow. Okay. On the next training, we're going to dissect the step 2 portion of it, which is to connect the dots and use your high school NIL draft board to test the strategy.